negotiations that went on and the budget cuts that have been imposed on the Toronto Police Service. How is that affecting the recruitment of ethnic police officers for the coming year?
Really bad news. The simple fact is it's brought it to a complete halt. We won't be hiring in the coming year. The city of Toronto was facing some very real...
Sorry, I didn't hear that answer.
What?
Before you started the I'm sorry.
Oh, the answer is it has brought the hiring of diverse officers for the Toronto Police Service to a complete halt for 2012.
Why?
We will not be hiring any police officers in 2012.
No police officers of any ethnicity.
Of any ethnicity, of any kind. No police officers will be hired in 2012. And let me perhaps offer some explanation for that, because I think it's important. The city of Toronto is facing some very real fiscal challenges. And we have a responsibility. The police service has a responsibility, partly because we're part of the city services, and partly because the police services are expensive. 22% of all of the tax dollars collected in Toronto go to public safety and policing. And because of that, when the city is facing very significant fiscal shortfalls, they don't have enough money to run the city, then we all have to do our part. And everything had to be on the table. And so we looked very, very carefully. It is my responsibility to do that, to manage the cost of policing. And so in looking at the cost of policing, we cut where we could cut. We cut, for example, our premium pay costs. So the amount of resources I have to bring people back on overtime, to work longer hours, even to attend court off duty and those things which it can be very expensive, we cut those budgets over 10%. We'd already cut them 6% this year and an additional 10% next year. It's a pretty significant cut. We also have cut our non-salaried accounts where we could. Now I still have to turn the lights on in the buildings, I still have to heat them, I have to put gas in the cars, I have to buy the cars. So those are difficult costs to reduce because you have to pay your bills. But anything that was considered discretionary, and that impacts on training, it impacts on all travel, conferences, and business activities, but it also impacts pretty significantly on other costs for office materials and other materials and services that we would normally acquire to do our business. We've had a 10% cut in all of those budgets as well. And over the past, including this year, it's about an 18% reduction, very significant reductions. But none of that really enabled us to achieve the types of reductions that the city required of us. And so one of the things that I have had to undertake to do is to freeze our hiring in 2012. Now we are authorized to have 5,578 police officers. That's a number that isn't picked from the air. It's a number that's been established over time. It is, in my opinion, the right number of officers in order to do all of the work and provide all of the services to the standards that we currently do. And so that's our authorized strength. But I'm going to have to operate below that authorized strength in 2012. And so we will not hire in 2012. And about 200 people will retire or otherwise leave the police service next year. And I won't be able to replace them during that year. And what it'll mean, by the end of the year, we'll have 220 fewer police officers available to us to do the work that police officers do in Toronto by the end of the year. And over the course of the year, the task that I have set for myself and my colleagues in the Toronto Police Service is to find efficiencies, to find ways of doing business, to find ways to maintain the high level of services that Torontonians have come to expect with fewer people. To do more with less is a phrase that is so often used. And we're working to do that. And so we won't be hiring in 2012. I have also undertaken with my service that we are going to do an organizational review. We're going to take a good hard look at how we do business and to find better ways to deliver service, to find more efficiencies within our organization, to look at the things that must be done by police officers and things that might be done by lesser paid, less skilled civilian members. Although many of our civilian members are very highly skilled, we're looking at ways to create efficiencies through civilianization. Now, unfortunately, we have, first of all, we've had great success in creating a diverse workforce in the Toronto Police Service. In the last 6 years, we set a goal for ourselves, and we have maintained this standard that more than 50% of the people that we hire must be women and/or people from diverse communities. We have placed great emphasis on acquiring the language skills and the cultural competencies that enable us to serve the people of Toronto, the diverse people of Toronto. And I've achieved a great deal of success. And I'll share with you something of which I am proud that doesn't make it into the papers. But today, 22% of the Toronto Police Service are from diverse communities. That's a significant achievement. It's a significant improvement over where we were 6 years ago. If I may, by comparison, compare it with the city of Montreal, which is 4% diverse. We're at 22%. And we are absolutely committed to continuing to build upon that diversity, to acquire those language skills, and to create a more culturally competent police service. It makes us a better police service. But the reality is this year, and 2012, we will not be able to hire. So Ray, we won't be able to make progress. But what I can tell you is the majority of the people that will retire from the service, the overwhelming majority of the people that will leave are not diverse people. They're people like myself, people who've been around for 30 plus years, people who are overwhelmingly white, middle class males, and there will be the people that will retire. And I'm confident we'll be able to retain the diversity that we have achieved in our organization. And when we resume hiring, as we must, I remain completely committed to creating a diverse workforce. So when the opportunity comes again to hire, and it will come in our future, then we will resume in the same standards, the same goals, the same commitment to continuing to create a diverse workforce. The economy has slowed us down, but it's just the economy. And eventually, better times will return. The work we do is too important not to continue to make investments in it, and I'm confident that when we're able to resume hiring, we'll continue to make extraordinary progress. And I think we've crossed an important threshold. I think we have demonstrated within our organization that diversity works, that having those language skills and cultural competencies makes us a better, smarter, more competent organization, more effective at serving a diverse people. And we've proven that's the right path to go on. And so I'm absolutely confident nothing will ever divert us from that path.
May I?
Excuse me, let me just finish up with the panel here, if you don't mind. We have a program, and we'll open up to the floor. Very short, if you don't mind. Thank you. Thank you.